Hey idiots, welcome back to Observe. Stay tuned to the end of this video for an update regarding my book. Anyway, remember way back when we learned some pretty groundbreaking psychology from 5 Minute Crafts? Well, sit back and buckle up and get ready to have your jams jimmied, so to speak, because today we're learning how to solve crime with 7-second riddles. Before going too much further into this video, I wanted to thank our sponsor, Audible. You know about the site by now. It has audio entertainment in many forms. If you sign up for a free trial using my link in the description below, it's audibletrial.com/observe. You'll get a free trial and a free audiobook. I suggest you go and get What Everybody Is Saying by Joe Navarro. He's an ex-FBI agent. It will help you see the world for what it really is. Once again, sign up using my link in the description below to receive a free trial and a free audiobook. Now, back to the regular content. Now, you know how intellectually intense and reliable 5 Minute Crafts is. Well, this is just like that. So reliable, so smart, so big brain that you can't even begin to understand it. But we're going to try our hardest to do so today. I felt a little compelled to do a video on this channel, as I feel like the idiot community is one of the best fitted for solving crime mysteries, riddles, so on and so forth. So today, I'm going to be looking at these self-designated mind-melting riddles in light of being a deductionist, aka I'm gonna overanalyze the shit out of what this is way beyond what it was ever intended to be. Alright, 7-second riddles, let's see what you got. I'm gonna be looking at it on my the computer tablet thing here. A man called the police and said that his father died of a stroke. Creepy. Medical examination showed that Mr. Trenton died from a large dose of medicine. A detective interviewed everyone in the house. Andrew, who was the son, said, "I met my father in the evening and then went on night duty to the hospital." All right, Kevin, who is also the son, "I was at a party with my friends all night long." Kevin looks like he's like 8. All right, now we've got Mrs. Trenton here. "I was cleaning the house." All right, on the same day, the detective got to know that the medicine the man used to take couldn't cause a stroke. Then someone must have replaced his pills. Who killed Mr. Trenton? Okay, who killed Mr. Trenton? Okay, so he died of a stroke caused by an overdose of a nameless drug. Now, in a murder situation, the first person to question is the spouse. Oftentimes there can be a love or jealousy or money angle that inspires a murder in a relationship. So the wife would be the first suspect. However, in the nature in which the man was killed is suspect as well. Now we know he was taking some medicine, likely to manage his health, and someone switched out the medicine with a new dangerous one. Since we know that the medicine was a pill, it's also safe to assume that he wasn't taking more than 2 to 3. So for him to overdose on a pill in such a way that would cause a stroke, that would have to have a powerful dosage per capsule. One of the most common drugs that can cause strokes outside of illegal substances are amphetamines. These are only able to be obtained over the counter or illegally, and the potency that would be needed to overdose a person within only a few pills would be difficult to get a hold of outside of having access to a large array of medicine. Out of the people mentioned, who has access to that dosage and that variety of drugs? Likely the man who works nights at the hospital, the son. To further this, it would take a special knowledge of medicines to know which drugs were powerful enough to cause a stroke, and that would still be similar enough in appearance to the original medicine that the father would unknowingly take them. The child, the 8-year-old, statistically is unlikely to poison or murder anyone. The wife likely doesn't have the knowledge to pull off the medicinal overdose poisoning. If it were her, it would be more likely to be a normal poisoning, slipped into food or drink. It takes less knowledge, preparation, and experience to pull off this sort of poisoning. Only a medically trained person with access to a myriad of drugs would have the means and the knowledge necessary to pull off a poisoning of this sort. He also met with his father in the evening the day before and went to work all night. I'm assuming that this crime was discovered the next day, so there isn't really a time issue. With all of this in mind, I feel like the logical conclusion would be the son. Perhaps he gets something from his father's will. Perhaps he's in a love triangle with his father's wife, who is obviously a new spouse due to her age and his age. Or perhaps he just hates his father. Who knows? But, let's see what 7-Second Riddles has to say about it. It is Mrs. Trenton. She hadn't cleaned the house for a long time. Right. Fantastic. They say it's the wife, because there was a pile of cups in some trash. Their logic is that she said she was cleaning the house, but there are all of those 8 dishes and the one tiny trash can full. She obviously is a murderer. Good Lord, hope they don't ever suspect me of murder, because I have, I think, 3 plates in the sink right now, and I just spent the past couple days cleaning. I must, in fact, with their logic, be a criminal. Now, if we hadn't learned enough vital information from the last example, I'm going to take you down a trip of how to tell if a driver is a maniac. That's right, not a murderer, not a criminal, a maniac, creepy, spooky maniac. So what I'm assuming the point of this exercise is to be able to quickly observe and deduce a threat of a person or a driver. I don't really know. I've never been threatened by a driver aside from them driving like an idiot. So I'm excited to see what wisdom we can learn here. All right, so we're looking at this guy. He's got, looks like some sort of oil or ink or something on him. A tree hanging, license plate. Looks like an average taxi, no suspicious stuff. This guy over here on the right, he has a nicely trimmed beard and hairstyle, and it's got those bones hanging from the window up there. So let's see. What one do you think is the maniac? Speaking in realistic terms, there's nothing really to go off of from these specific pictures. The black substance on the suspect number 1 or on the left could be oil, it could be ink, it could be paint or whatever. He seems pretty happy though, so that's pretty cool. Also, his car must smell like a delicious fake forest thanks to the little dangly tree thing. Now let's talk about the suspect on the right here. He seems happy as well. His beard and hair are all groomed, and those bones hanging from the mirror are a little strange, but they're small and, well, likely fake. But if they're not fake, then that's a bit weird, so I'm betting it's probably the person on the right. Let's go ahead and see. Oh shit. Those are human bones. That changes things. Though I can't really say where those bones were coming from. Assuming it's from an adult, it's too short to be an arm or leg bone, and it's not the right shape for literally any other bone. Maybe it's a child's bone, and if that's the case, the police should probably know that this person is carrying bones, because this person is definitely a maniac. Not a psychopath and not a murderer, a maniac. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next one. All right, so we've got 2 guys here, 2 different trucks. One has a handprint, the other one has a red fluid dripping out of it. One guy's wearing normal clothes, pants open. Yeah, they're both smiling, happy folks. I'm wondering what they think the maniac is. So let's go ahead and break this one down. Well, I'm fairly certain that they're pointing us in the direction of the truck with the handprint, which is obviously super spooky and scary. But let's consider this. The person on the right is demonstrating closed body language, closed behavior. His folded arms and forced smile are odd. But where it gets odder is with his truck. We see a red substance dripping out of the back of the truck. What is supposed to put our suspicions to rest, so to speak, is the existence of a happy-looking tomato decal on the side. But here's why I think that the person on the right is the maniac. First, tomatoes don't make that vibrant or rich of a juice. Go ahead and squash one. It's mostly clear with maybe a red or pink tint to the juice. Second, with food-grade shipments, cleanliness is of utmost importance. A driver who would have that much produce dripping out of their trailer would be reprimanded by the company they were hired by. Also, these drivers are likely freelance, meaning that companies find them to carry the products. They don't work for any specific company. If they did, they're far more likely to be wearing a uniform. With that in mind, if this trucker on the right is really carrying produce, he would have been vetted or checked out by the company that found him to make sure that he was a reliable carrier. I used to work in the trucking business, so I can tell you personally that the vetting process is pretty strict for produce. This sort of mishap would make it difficult for the driver to get any jobs. If you think that maybe he might be new, he wouldn't have a picture of that produce on the side of his trailer. Long story short, the trucker on the right is extremely suspicious, and I label him as the maniac. But let's see what Professor 7-Second Riddles says. And zooms in over here. Yep, the handprint. Talk about so spooky, scary. Handprint. All right, moving on to the next one here, which we have got these two gentlemen standing outside of their car. There are children in the car. Let's watch. Okay, this guy, nice hair, nice shirt, nice clothes, nice shoes. Kid in the back looks a little upset. This guy, cool shoes, looks nice, smiling, nice hair. Kid in the back has something on their mouth. I wonder who the maniac is. Once again, I love that these are maniacs and not like abductors or criminals or murderers. It's maniacs. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. I would be suspicious of both of these people. The person on the left is not the same race as the child in their back seat. This could be explained by adoption or a spouse, or it could be a relative or a friend of their own kids, but the anguish on the child's face is concerning nonetheless. It would really boil down to what the child was yelling. If they were yelling,
"Please assist me, I am being abducted by this gentleman with the beautiful hair,"
then I think that the driver on the left would be the maniac. Now, in regards to the driver on the right, either that child is sick and wearing a face mask, which is absolutely ironic for this time of life, or that is tape. If it's tape, the driver on the right is absolutely and obviously a total maniac. Just a friendly PSA for you. If you ever see a child in the backseat of a car with tape over their mouths, you should really call the police, no matter how fly the driver's shoes might be.
Wow.
I just learned
like so much.
If you would like to learn so much, try subscribing to the channel. If you would like me to do more of these style of videos, let me know by liking this one and telling me in the comments below, because that's how I know. Once again, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. To remind you, you can get a free trial and free audiobook by using my link in the description below. That's audibletrial.com/observe. I also just released a new merch design. It looks similar to what is back here. And if you wanted to go and check that out, it's over on my shop. The warehouses are having trouble shipping, so I don't know. Give it a shot. Also, if you support me on Patreon, you get early access to various content. You also get HD backgrounds. And if you support me at the platinum tier, that's what I call it, is the platinum tier, you get full access to my book, which is titled Observe: The Art and Science of Deductionism. I will be uploading the updated file of this book regularly as I progress in writing it. And if you support me at that level, I might even be able to work in some of your requests, your personal requests, into the book. So I hope to see some of you over there. But without further ado, that's all that I've got for today. My name is Logan, and you have been oh so awesome, as you always are. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.